students, one more term is there, that modularity. We are going to discuss about that modularity. Module, that when our big or large program, let's suppose one program that we have, and that program is having that, this is Java program, and we have performed here many tasks, many different tasks are there. So code here that written for that task, this is code for the task 1, and this is also the code for the task 2. So that means, suppose we have written in a Java program, so performing the different operations and different all the codings written together. So task 2 here written task 3, that we can understand that these all codes, if one is written, this is very large, and one thing is that when any error is there, error correction, that is also tough to do in large program. So, and it is also not capable and not easy to write the program or develop that program with the help of one programmer only, that large or complex program. So that large or complex program we divide according to the task, according to the functionality, according to the use. These tasks are divided, that's in different modules. Okay, so this is that task 1. So this is module 1, module 1 for task 1. Okay, this is module 2, that means whatever the coding we have done for the task 1, that coding we will do here, and it will known as that one module, one sub program. That you can say this is a large or big program, and this module that we have created, that is sub program. That means a small part of the program. So that is small part of program that we will use, and we will use together in a main program. But you understand, these different modules can be created or written with the different programmer. That means this one is that module 2 for the task 2, and this is module 3 for the task 3. That means we can understand easily, after dividing the sub parts of the program, large or big program, we can part module 3, that is task 3. It's clear that when you will divide in these two, and that whole program that we will use in our main Java program. This is a main Java program. So main program, where I will call and I will use only that module 1, that is module 2, and that is module 3. What is the benefit of this? We understand first. Suppose that large big program written by that one user, one programmer, that, and all the tasks they have written, if any error is there, error correction is trouble, that means not easy. One more thing is that to manage all the programs and written by the one person or one in a one module, that is also difficult to handle and traverse all the time. If task related, when we will divide in two different parts, that different programmer can also do the different parts, and all that different parts written by, developed by the different parts by the different programmer, and we include all the parts in a main program. It's easier. That one thing more is that clear. That module 1 is used by that in main program. Module 2 is also used in a main program, and module 3 is also used in main program. So in such a way, what main program part will be that is small and easier to handle. If any error is coming in a module 2, that means we have to handle this one only. Okay. So if any problem coming in module 3, we have to check error in this one 3. So it's very easy and convenient to manage the program, to handle the program, to get that error also, and it is a different parts that can be developed by the different users, programmers also. So it is known as that modules. It is known as that module. Actually, we are seeing in our program modules here, but that is known as subprogram, subroutine, or we can say that that is the method also. So different methods or different functions we are making that for the large program. So this is actually the concept of that modularity. So when we develop and when we write the program, we use this modularity technique. So different sub-programs or parts or modules we create, and that we all the modules we use in our main program. This is the concept of modularity. Thank you. My dear, now we are going to discuss about that Blue Java introduction. What is actually the Blue Java? You will see that Blue Java icon like this. This you will see on the desktop, and you will use that by double clicking. You will open that. When you will open that Blue Java, that you will get that all the complete part of that GUI of that Blue Java like this. And when you will use this Blue Java graphical user interface, that we will use that like this. How we will use that we understand by defining, by explaining this. So what is that Blue Java? This is actually that integrated teaching introductory Java program. So integrated means what? That we understand that we can say that Blue Java or BlueJ is IDE. IDE. What is that IDE? That means integrated development environment. That means all the parts of that development, that all the parts of that writing the program, that is together embedded. That means in Blue Java you will see that. So source code also, that means we are writing the program, compiling program, and output. That means output of program. That means three things are there in a program. That all the three things, that means for writing the program we are using editor. For compiling the program, that means Java compiler or debugger. And that terminal to show output. Or you can say output window, terminal or output window. That you can say output window also. That this term we can use output window also. Output place also, that output window. So in Blue Java, these all these all functionalities, editor, Java compilation, or debugger, and output, that we do together, all together in Blue Java. So that's why it is known as IDE. Okay. So why we call IDE? So because Java provides integrated development environment. That means where we can write the text, write the program using the editor. It contains editor also, it contains debugger also, it contains JVM also, virtual machine also, it contains the output screen also. That means all the three parts, all the main three parts of the Java that having that BlueJ all together embedded in one single. Okay, so this is known as IDE. But one thing more is that about the Blue Java, that is graphical. So now that third point we will write that Blue Java is graphical. It provides graphical interface. It provides graphical interface. Clear? Second thing is that interactive object creation is there, so we can create object creation. So it is very easy to interact with that object creation. We can do with that graphical way, and it's easy and interactive or easy way to call the object call, object calling, you can say, easy way of object calling. Okay, this is that. These all things are there. And one more thing that you understand about the BlueJ, when you have seen that. So what is that most? So now we understand about that BlueJava, how to open it and how to work it. It's very easy by double clicking on the desktop. So you will get that interface. On that you have to create that new project, and inside that new project you can create your file, that is class name. So class file that you will create, that is Java program, and you will write all the programs in a very easy way. You will write in a textual way and a graphical way. You can work in Java. So BlueJava. So how to do that we will discuss in a video tutorial, in a different video tutorial that I will show you that how to in a computer, how to execute and how to write the program, that we will show it. So okay, next video tutorial we will discuss that according to the topic. Thank you.